Okay, hello. I'm Nicole. I'm your Pilates instructor, and here I am in a new space. This is my home studio, it's not really a studio, it's just the entryway of my house where I have my mat rolled out. And I have some tools with me today because I know that some students have inquired about what are different tools or things that we could use for Pilates, or if we wanted to add on extras. None of these are required for the class. They're just extras for fun or intensifications. But today what we'll be doing is we'll be reviewing a little bit of Pilates movement principles, and then we'll be doing a workout today. So it's a workout combined of the exercises that you've learned, and we'll be doing that full workout, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'll be here with you for the duration of this class, obviously. This is a Pilates ring, so also known as a magic circle. This is one of my personal favorite tools. You can use it in mat Pilates or in reformer Pilates at a studio. It can also be used in physical therapy purposes, but this is used for different types of arm exercises. Here, you can also place it between the ankles. Here, bringing it in, bringing it out. So the ring is really fun. You can also use it for things like this, for a bit of stability. Like here's a way to incorporate the ring into mat Pilates, for a bit more stability so I can focus on the hip and not worry about my body moving so much. Or, just pop my back. But yeah, so this is a Pilates magic circle or Pilates ring. This right here is these are 1 pound ankle weights. So if you were looking for a way to intensify your mat practice at home, you can always get some of these at TJ Maxx, Amazon, Target, but TJ Maxx has a lot of them. These are 1 pound, so these are really light. But honestly, when you start using them, you'll feel really like, oh, this is easy. But after a while, it gets hard. So like maybe you add the weights for different exercises on the ankles. I could have them on the wrist as well. The other ones I have are 3 pounds, so those are a bit heavier. But this is a 1 pound, so this is pretty stable for me. You can also do things with these on your wrist if you wanted to use them on your wrist. So maybe you like walking outside or walking on a treadmill. These little 1 pounders are great. I won't be using any weights. When I practice Pilates or I'm with instructors and I'm in class, definitely I want them to be pushing me to my limits. So the ring and the weights, I love it when they challenge me. It's really hard. But here in this space where we're trying to learn the basics of this form of exercise and breath and movement, we don't really need to add. I don't need to perform with that for you. So if you do feel like your practice is further along than this course has started off to be, then go ahead and add some weights, add a ring, add a ball. I'll have that ball next time to show you, or the next time after that, of what that looks like as well. So all sorts of different tools and options to intensify what we're already working on. But back to the basics, right? Let's get back to where we began. So I just wanted to review the movement principles of Pilates and the breath. We talked about how breathing is the most important and the first principle in all of this practice. So I'd always like to advise you to take a moment to get grounded into your space. Since I am at my home studio or home space today, you might hear a dog barking in the background, so I apologize for that. Hopefully it doesn't last forever. This is my yoga side that is able to get us through. But the Pilates side is the discipline and the grit and the strength. And then the yoga side is just the grace, the understanding, the patience. But anyway, so that's for another day. But sorry if you hear the dogs. Sorry if you hear planes, but let's go with it. So breathing, we've got the breath, and the diaphragm is the primary muscle in the breath. So the diaphragm is going to be used to like inhale and exhale, and you're going to feel the diaphragm like lifting up towards the top of the rib cage, and then exhaling down towards the bottom of the rib cage. So inhale, the diaphragm contracts up towards the top of the rib cage, and then exhale, the diaphragm contracts down to the bottom of the rib cage. So that breathing principle will stand, throughout your time in Pilates, and diaphragmatic breathing is a great tool and reference point to come to for stability and an anchor through any type of workout. So you can use it for any type of workout in the future. But sorry, I'm excited. I guess I definitely feel more at ease and more at home in this studio space versus at the beautiful Reformer studio space that I'm so fortunate to be able to teach and practice from at Breathe 3 Wellness. But so right here, it's like, oh, okay, I can settle in, like I can relax, like, this is my space, like, anyway, but no, I love the studio, but I can tell that this feels a little more relaxed for me today. So thank you for your patience as we get acclimated and settled in for our lesson today. So back to the breath, the diaphragm, inhaling up to the top. The diaphragm pulls all the way up, and then exhaling, the diaphragm presses down to the bottom. I also like to envision maybe like an accordion or something else that expands to the top and then presses down to the bottom. If you're into like how it's made, maybe some manufacturing machinery stuff. Yeah, but anyway, so the diaphragm and the breath, number one Pilates principle, number one. So just come back to the breath. So if you're feeling like discouraged in a workout, or you're feeling overwhelmed or can't get through it, come back to the breath. Leave the exercises, leave everything behind. Check in with your breathing. Pause where you are physically and check in with your diaphragmatic breath. Are you breathing in to the top, and are you breathing out to the bottom? Or is your breath small or labored, or maybe it's shallow? So come back to the breath and know that that's always there for you as a basic principle and a home base, I guess you could say. So another Pilates principle will be also based on like lower core activation. So part of this practice and part of mat Pilates in this exercise form is using the core in addition to the breath that we just talked about, but the breath enables us to use our full range of core. So the lower core activation is what we're really looking to do. We have multiple layers of our core here. We've got the transverse abdominis, the pelvic floor, the multifidi, and the diaphragm. So that's what we're working with as our layers of core here. So there's a lot going on, and it's definitely multifaceted compared to just the muscles of the legs that we'll be activating or anything else. This practice and this form of exercise is specifically to enhance your lower core activation that includes the transverse abdominis, the pelvic floor, the diaphragm, and the multifidi. So that's what we're focusing on developing here. And by developing those muscles, we are enhancing our quality of life by helping our skeleton be more stable and stacked, by having more tone definition in a very multifaceted area of our body that most in our culture ignore. So that's also an admirable and a disciplined act of self-love, I would say. is that this discipline is about lower core activation and overcoming some of our Western society pressures or eases and comforts that are just so much easier than what we're doing here, that what you've chosen to do with me here. So, you know, congratulations for showing up today, because that's not easy. So, yeah. So talking about the lower core, then we also talked about a neutral pelvis. We talked about scapular stability and mobility. So taking those principles of a neutral pelvis, trying to keep a nice flatter back, not arching one way or the other, and noticing if you have an arch in one way or the other. So you can either add like a pad or even fold the mat over to support the lower back a little bit more. So the neutral pelvis, we're looking for that. We're going to talk about optimal starting position here today. We're going to look for that. And then the rib cage, scapular mobility and stability. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting excited and distracted again, but here we go. So finding that neutral pelvis. This is basically finding the optimum starting position. So in optimum starting position, today we'll be starting our exercise here shortly after we review this. We'll be starting standing. So finding an optimum starting position, we're looking for a decent width of the feet, like hip width distance. We're also looking for a neutral pelvis, stacked, like are my shoulders, you know, I'm like dramatizing it, but like this is where you could go. So this is where we're trying to go to find our neutral standing position. So here you're going to see my lower back right here. And yes, we do have a natural curve in our spine. Yes, that's normal. And we do have a natural kyphosis, which is rounding of the shoulders here. But part of this practice is finding where neutral is and activating those muscles to help us be in a more neutral position, so we're not straining or overusing or lengthening certain muscles and shortening other muscles. So there's a lot of different ways that the human body can become stagnant in positions. And here in Pilates, we're trying to overcome that. So finding our optimum starting position here today, take your feet hip width distance apart. Mine are hip width distance apart. So you can either face me. I'm going to try to go both ways to show you because it's going to involve the pelvis. So my feet are just going to be hip width distance apart. And then that's where I'm at here. And then shoulder blades stacked nicely over the rib cage and over the hips. So I'm not like pulling my shoulders back, but I'm also not letting anything relax, right? So I'm gently engaging at the top of the body. And then the neutral pelvis, I want you to find your neutral pelvis. So check in with your lower belly here on the abdomen and your lower back and your sacrum area right above your tailbone. So I want you to like tuck the tailbone and lengthen, try to find length in the lower back and tailbone. It feels kind of good for me because it's like a stretch. I do have lower back pain, which is wild, y'all. I was like, what? I did not think I was old enough for that, but apparently I am, but it's okay. I mitigate it by everything I do. So just find, see, I started to lean over because it made me want to lean over. No, stand up straight, find a neutral pelvis, but first tuck the tailbone, like pull in, see what that feels like, extend out on the back side, and then arch the back. So we can go either way, right? So find your neutral pelvis here, and then gently pull the hips towards the rib cage. So it's almost like you're pulling up right here from the lower abdomen or the pubic bone. Right here, you're pulling up just from right there. It's not tucking the tailbone. So I don't want you to think tucking the tailbone, although that is a common cue that you will hear in a lot of Pilates classes, tucking the tailbone. I don't mean tuck the tailbone, and my teacher, Mashan, she's awesome. Like, it's more of like pulling up from the pubic bone, so I'm lengthening from the front and the back side of the body here. So this is my neutral pelvis. Feels good. So try to find your neutral pelvis here. And we're going to go into the review of the body positioning. So we've got supine, which is lying on your back. Lying on your back, this is supine. Feels great. I was just telling my mom that I slept a little bit funky last night, so my upper back feels a little bit strained, so that's going to be fun today. This is sitting, obviously. We've got side lying, which is lying on your side. You can be here supported. You can also, if that's too much, you can also be here. This is side lying, so there's different levels. This is the most supportive level, and you can bend the leg underneath for even more support on side lying. So this is the most supportive version of side lying. And find your hip stacked over the other hip. And see, if I had my little weights on here, this would be fun. But this is side lying, like level 1. If you'd like to intensify, you could be up on your side here, pulling up from the right side body is what I'm on, the one that's on the mat. So it's my right hip. I could be pulling up from there. Not all the way for all exercises because I am lengthening and I'm up here in my shoulder. So most of the time we'll probably be right about here. Leg circles, but this is side lying. Then there's all fours, which is hands and knees, tabletop. Then there's standing. Da, da, da. Those are the different positions for our poses today. So these exercises that we're about to dive into are to correct common issues like low back pain, hamstring pain, hip flexor tightness, hamstring weakness, shoulder weakness, and lack of stability. But the emphasis is truly going to be here on form and doing what feels best in your body. So we're going to take some of the exercises that we learned in the last 2 videos, and now we're going to compile them into an actual workout that I'm going to guide you through. So, starting standing, let's take a sip of water. Woo! I'm ready to go though, I'm excited. Okay, starting standing. Let's dive in. This workout is basically a balanced body mat workout. Number 1, beginners. So this is going to get us through some foundational exercises. We're going to see how we do. We're going to see how we perform. We're going to try to do all the reps. I'm going to guide you through it. I'm going to demo some of the exercises and the other ones. I'm going to just try to keep you motivated and keep you moving through them. But hopefully I'll be able to demo and teach because I want to give you the full best workout for you today. All right, so starting standing, let's get upright. Torso, knee alignment. We're standing stack. Let's start with some knee bends, bending and lifting, and then placing that foot back down. Find the root through that foot, lift through the other one. Marching in place. Woo! I'm a little off balance today, as expected. That's all right. Coming back to center. Find those ankles, also the toes. Are they facing forward? Like no pointed out, no pointed in. Also, this is supinate or pronate. Supinate, pronate. Yeah. Okay, coming back to center, sorry. Squats, stack it up. Let's go. We've got 5 more for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. We're going to squat and rotate back and up. Squat, rotate back and up. For 3. For 2. Squat and rotate. Last one. Back up to center. Side bends. Inhaling, we'll take that right hand, whichever hand you want, standing here, stacked nicely, toes pointed forward, reach up overhead, expand and lengthen, try to keep Both hips and the pelvis aligned, but we're expanding on this side that you're reaching up and over, and then back to center. Notice that I'm not moving anything down here. Up. This side is the one that's a bit injured, but the head, so for modifications, you can keep the head lifted. You can also bring the hand behind the head, expand here. For traumatic brain injury purposes, if you've had that, you can always support the head. And then roll down, standing to supine. So we can start our exercises. All right, so for our roll down, let's get started. Feet hip width distance. Inhale, sweep your hands up overhead. This is our Pilates roll down. We're gonna act like we're folding right here at the waist. Inhale, reach up, and then exhale, fold down. One breath here. Exhale. Inhale, rolling back up. Reaching up overhead. Exhale, hands back down by your side. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, Pilates roll down, folding at the waist. Folding here, trying to keep the hips stacked over those legs. So you're noticing I'm not moving much from the lower half. It's only my upper body just folding over. Belly pulls in. Thoracic spine, which is this part, is lengthening. Hands are hanging here. Pilates roll down. And then coming right back up. That's our Pilates roll down. Let's come on down to supine, which is on your back. So find the mat on your back here. Great, I'm here. Whew. Okay. Feet pressed into the mat, knees are bent. Shoulder blades, collarbones spread wide. We're going here into our pelvic clock, 6 times to the right. So I want you to press into the heels, which was like a bridge. Pelvic clock, we're taking that pelvis up and then down and around back to center. That's 1 clock. We've got 5 more. Trying to draw that clock. Last 2. And then we're going to switch directions. Back now the other way. We go opposite direction, take it around, so it's counterclockwise. Notice if it's harder to go one direction than the other. Last 3. Pelvic clock. Whew. This will get us nice and warm. And then coming back to center, let's lower down. Feet stacked into the mat, knees bent, hands. Take like your pointer and middle fingers and your thumbs. Spread your collarbones here, press your elbows into the mat, and find your hip bones and your ribs here. Let's notice, is there a big space between the back and the mat? If so, can you become in a more neutral position? Okay, there we go. I'm in a more neutral position for my back. So find that and then get that hip stable and then breathe here. We're taking 5 breaths here, trying to expand the diaphragmatic breath up to the top, inhaling. And then exhaling, pressing all that air all the way down to where that hip bone is. 4 more breaths, inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Finding that neutral position here. We have that fingertips on our abs. We felt that. That's all we got to do. Let's begin to rock and roll Get some length in the back. Come up, hands and knees. Meet me in cat-cow. So for our cat-cow, wrists stacked under shoulders, knees stacked under hips. Everything's about, I'm trying to be like as square as possible. So no matter your body shape or body type, just trying to be as square as possible for you to just, in your own body, what does that look like, right? So for some, it's going to be wider. For some, it might be a wider knee stance. I have more different narrow hips, so that's fine. Find your stability here. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round through. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, round through. One more. Inhaling for your cow. Exhaling for your cat. Coming back to center. We're going now into hip circles / tail wag, which is great. So this is similar to that other one we did, but on our back. Hip circles. Just take your hips, move them around, also known as tail wags, and then bring it back up towards the hands. We're going to switch directions so the hips are just swinging around the full circle, but I'm not moving my hips, my knees. Yes, I am moving my hips, y'all. I'm not moving my knees really, and I'm not moving my feet really. So I'm trying to lengthen in different parts of the body as I swing my hips and my tail around. So this could be called hip circles, tail wags, and then let's switch directions. And one direction is going to feel more natural than the other. Yeah. The abs are also working here. We got 2 more. Nice, coming back to center. All right, meet me on the back. We're going to begin our workout. I've been liking this direction because I can see and my face is not in the dark. Okay. So, ab curls. Find yourself on the back. We've got 10 of these. Level 1 or just beginner would be feet supported here. And then the hands are going to come behind the head. Here. Or you can take the knees into tabletop. So this is tabletop. Knees stacked over hips, ankles in line with my knees. So they're not up there and they're not down here. So either one, whichever is most supportive in your body. We've got 10 ab curls. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I want to keep my feet down today because I just want to focus on the breath and using my diaphragm. So honestly, depending on your level, I just recommend let's start here. All right, inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale, exhale. We got 3 more. 2. Last ab curl. Coming back to center. Meeting me here. We're going into toe taps. So we can go into tabletop here, or we can stay here rooted. And we're just lifting our right leg. Hands can be relaxed here. And then left leg. So toe taps. Find your neutral toe taps, and then notice, are the knees like pointing inwards or the ankles? Like what's going on with my body? Is my pelvis stable and my rib cage stable? Or am I using my core also for my legs to tap, right? So just try to find your stability and your flow. Get your toe taps in. We got 2 more. Coming back to center, we're getting ready for 100 prep. So for 100 prep, feet down, we're going to inhale, hands come down by the sides, and then exhale here. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. We got 7 more. Last two. And lower. Coming into here, roll-up prep. Yes. For roll-up prep, we're going to have those legs out long. We're going to take those hands up overhead. And then we lift and lower. We have 7. Don't use the hip flexors. Try to be soft through the lower half of the body. Just using all of the abs. We got roll-up prep. We got 5 more. You got this. Last one. Let's draw it in, reset. Rock and roll side to side. Hamstring stretch. 45 seconds, hold 2 times each leg. So let's take a stretch here. This is a hamstring stretch. So my right leg is extended up towards the ceiling. You can also use a strap or a belt here if you can't reach the leg. You can also be here if this is enough. You can be here, or you can have a strap. This is also where a Pilates ring comes in handy, or something like this that I can just use to hold my leg, but that's not necessary. I can just do this. This is hamstring stretch. Let's switch to the other side. Woo! This one is definitely more spicy than the other one. 45 seconds each side. Got a nice shake going on this one. I wonder if y'all can tell the difference. Definitely a nice shake going on for sure, which is great. So y'all, your instructor is also already shaking. Mat Pilates is not for the weak, y'all. Okay, small leg circles, 8 times each. So coming here, small leg circles, we're coming down on the back. I want you to just lift that leg, find your support here. If you want to take the hands behind the head, you can. I just want you to be stable here, to be able to just use the legs and the core. Hips stay stable and anchored. I'm just moving from the right leg, lifting up, small leg circles. And then we go the opposite direction. And I started with my good leg first, y'all. Y'all are going to see my other one. So also you're going to notice if you have a good leg or a bad leg, but there's no actual good legs or bad legs, y'all. It's just one is more dominant or strong than the other. Okay, so here we go. Small leg circles, opposite leg. We have 8 each direction. All right, that was my last one that direction. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Hips stay stable. 4, 6. The fact that it's this challenging. 7, 8. Okay, so those are small leg circles, 8 each from each direction. So total, that's 8 times 4, so 24 total circles. Now rolling like a ball 8 times. Trying to make your ball a bit smaller. Using the core. So notice that I'm only going so far down on my back, my upper back, and only trying to come up to the sit bones. Last 2. Last one. Woo! Rolling like a ball. We're rolling up to sitting. Okay. Adductor stretch, so extend your right leg out. The left leg is going to be bent. Yes. And we just reach here. Left hand reaches up and over. Open this whole side body. stretch here. Holding here for 3, for 2, and 1. Coming back to center, let's take it to the other side. So this time, left leg extends. I also have a lacrosse ball because of my back pain, or my upper back pain right now. Right foot bent in, left leg extends, stretch, reaching up and over. I wonder if you can tell the difference in my body here versus the other side. Last 2 breaths. Last one. Okay, spine stretch forward. Extend your legs out in front of you, and then move the blessings out of the way. So find your sits bones really rooted into the mat here, okay? Find your sits bones rooted into the mat here, and then my legs are extended. My ankles are in line with my hips. They're not out super wide, which is okay if you need that in your body for support. But our goal is to be about hip width distance as if we were standing. So this is our spine stretch forward. So sitting here, both of my feet are pointed up. I'd like you to inhale up. And then exhale, reach it forward. Imagine you're just reaching for the toes. Stretching, stretching, stretching. And then inhaling up. And then exhale. Pulling in from the belly. Inhale up. Exhale. 2 more. Last one. Coming back to center. We're taking spine stretch side and saw, which I love both of these. So for spine stretch side, we're going to stay here. Spine stretch side. Give yourself some more room. And same thing. Inhaling up. And then exhaling, taking it over to one side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2. And you might notice it's hard for the hips to be still, so that's part of the stability, is using the core and not having to anchor in through the hips. And then for our saw, we're just going straight into this, coming here. Ooh, there's a fly, sorry. All right, come here. We're just gonna start to get warmed up. We're still seated, but our lower back is supported and our core is engaged. Breathing here. Coming up. All right, let's come on down to the belly. This is also known as prone. We're gonna go into baby swan right here 6 times. So for baby swan, I'd like to invite you to find the belly relaxed. The back is soft here. The glutes are not holding on. All right, so find a neutral position. There might be a little bit of an arch. You might have to pull in from the lower core a little bit. That's okay. Baby swan, we're just gonna press here, lifting and stretching. Exhaling down. Notice my hands in alignment. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhaling up. This feels so good. 2 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Coming down here. We'll take a quad stretch, so bend that right leg. Reach back for it. This is a nice little quad stretch. Holding here. Switching to the other side. You can do this again. I'm going to move on, but if you want to stretch again, just pause or just stretch. Switching legs here. Next, we're going into single leg kicks. So for single leg kicks, we're still on our belly, okay? We're still on our belly. Whoops. Maybe the studio is better, y'all. I don't know. So, dog's barking. She's spilling her drinks. I mean, we're doing, we're doing it. I mean, look, everybody we're doing the best we can. I know you are. I know I am. Like, at least, like, we're able to be aware of that and, like, know that I'm showing up authentically. And I appreciate when you do too. So let's keep going. Single leg kicks. So we're right here on our belly still. And I want you to flex the foot when you bring it up. You bring it up, flex it up, and then place it back down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Oh wait, we pulse. Exhale. Inhale, heel lifts. Let's pick it up. Pulse. Exhale, relax, down. Inhale. Exhale, down. 2 more each side. This is fun. Single leg kicks. I haven't done this one in a minute. That's why I was like, oh. We inhale, inhale on the pulse up. Inhale, inhale. Last 2. That's fun. Rest position. Meeting me here. All fours. We're going into sternum drops, sternum lift and lowers. So find a comfortable tabletop position like we were earlier. Find that tabletop. Sternum lift and lowers are from right here from the chest. So it's not the belly. My booty is not sticking out. We're not doing a wag the tail. So we're not looking for any fluid movement. We're looking for nice, stable tabletop here on the lower half so I can execute the sternum lifts and lowers, which is just right here. So sternum lift and lowers, give me 5 more. Sternum drops for 4, for 3, 2. Last sternum drop, back 1, meeting me back in neutral. We're here. Let's go opposite arm, opposite leg lifts. Right leg extends, left arm extends. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Try to use control, use stability. This is not a race. It's about doing the same on each side. If not, trying to do the same and feeling stable through each side. Inhaling, exhaling. Last one. Inhale to extend. Notice that the pelvis has been shifting. Exhale. Back to center. Let's go to plank. Hold for 3 breaths. Right here. High plank. So we're in a high plank. You can also be in a modified, knees down. But I want the wrists stacked under the shoulders. High plank. Three breaths. That was a lot longer than 3 breaths. Okay, this is fun. I love the side leg series. So we're almost done with our workout today, y'all. Side leg lifts, 8 each side. So find stability, inhaling up, exhaling down. Side leg circles. Draw some circles to the front. Woo! Draw some circles to the back. Now let's take it into side leg kicks where we take it into tabletop and then you extend. Inhale, exhale. Try to be stable through the hips and the core. Find your stability on that bottom half. If you need to bend the bottom leg for more support, please do. I want you to be successful here at activating what you're needing to activate. This is our side lying kicks. So we've got 8 leg lifts, 8 circles, which means 4 one direction, 4 the other. And then we have 8 side lying kicks. So we go to the other side and let's do it. Finding the other side. So 8 leg lifts. Then you're going to go into the 8 circles. Ooh, this one is my tough one. And then opposite direction. Can y'all see the difference? That's okay if yours looks different too on one side versus the other. Y'all, so hard for me. And then coming into those leg kicks. Notice the foot is not turning inwards, the knee's not dipping in. I'm trying to keep my knee in line with my ankle and kick. 8. All right, meet me on the back. We're almost done. Meet me on the back. Piriformis stretch. Bend the knee. Draw it in here. Let's take it to the other side. Extend and bend. And then coming back to center. Draw the knees down. Let's rock and roll side to side. Inhale to expand it all out. Maybe make a big star. Exhale. We take 3 breaths here. The hard work is done. You made it. Yay! To come out of this, we'll just bend those legs. Draw the knees into the chest, rock and roll side to side. And then we just roll up to the top. So thanks for going on this journey with me today. I hope you had fun. I need some water now. I need to rest. That was a great workout. If you have any questions, let me know. But I look forward to seeing you next time for an even more challenging workout. And we'll see what else we can add in for more fun. So I look forward to seeing you, and thank you so much.